Hi everyone, I'm here with the wonderful Lisa Wiking from lisawiking.com. Lisa, you are an expert in leadership and helping organizations to build happy teams in order to be more productive and create, better working places for everyone. So thank you so much for joining me for this video.
Oh, thank you for having me. Very excited.
Yeah, me too. Because what we're going to talk about today is how to engage with virtual teams. So let's get straight into it. Lisa, what is the difference between working with a virtual team and with a team that is face-to-face?
Okay, so at the face of it, there isn't a difference if you are doing everything you need to be doing with a face-to-face team. However, with a virtual team, with a face-to-face team, you can get away with not having your systems in place. And not having processes set up, because you're having incidental conversations throughout the day that you just can't have with a virtual team. So I like to say it's like the virtual team is leadership 10x. Like, you really need to be great at leadership, great at your systems and have all your processes in place, because you don't have the luxury of observing body language and of observing tone or hearing tone. You've only got one real element, and that is your words and your communication. And so you really need to have all your systems and processes really sparkling and shiny to ensure that you are meeting the needs of your team, your virtual team.
Can you give an example of what you mean by systems and processes?
Yeah, so if you think about in a face-to-face team, you would have meetings. You would have meetings to see how they're going. And some people have great, really thought through business meetings. The people sort of just wing it and off the fly, and I will just, see how it goes and see what comes up. With a virtual team, the systems and processes that are important is ensuring that you schedule communication. So your weekly business meeting really covers all that you need to know from this person in this one meeting.
Sure. Okay.
Does that make sense?
So being more strategic and diligent with scheduling those regular catch-ups.
Absolutely, right? Absolutely. That is the number one, because you don't cross each other in the hallway. You don't go, oh, I need to speak to you about this, just on the fly. You need to plan out and have very set times for the communication to happen.
Sure.
And I think this is really key, is that you must set those times and clarify that they can attend before you employ them. Because another part of leadership is that start with how you want to continue. You can't, if you employ someone and then later you go, oh, I want to add this job to your role, I want to add this task to your role, people are like, well, are you going to pay me more? And so you need to start with all of this set up, so that we have a meeting at Monday morning, 9 o'clock Australian Standard Time. Can you be there before you give them the job? Because they will never do as much to impress you as they will in the process of trying to get the job.
Absolutely. Now, Lisa, you mentioned before that you don't have the luxury of being able to observe people's body language. I know a lot of people will do their meetings via video call like we're doing now. So you do see each other and you are communicating. Yep. Is there a way that you can use non-verbal communication through the video to also be effective?
Non-verbal communication. Well, non-verbal communication is essentially emails and any sort of form of writing. The non-verbal communication on the videos is obviously, you can hear my tone, you can see my body language, but it's only a very short snippet. So people can put it on. People can, for an interview or for a meeting, they can put on, yep, I'm fine, I'm happy, I'm doing really well. But it's the off time when they're not on that you can't observe. And so it's like, this is why your communication within the meeting and your communication even via email, is so important.
Right. Okay, sure. And Lisa, how can we help our team to be more motivated and engaged despite the distance?
Yeah. So there's a couple of things here. First of all, there is the understanding that there are 6 core needs that every human being needs, no matter of race, religion, sex, age. Every single human being has 6 core needs. So, and this is the 10x. It's even more important that you meet these needs for your virtual team than the ones face to face. And so, making sure that your business systems and processes meet those needs means that you will first keep them engaged and then help them be more motivated. But then it's also about knowing the direction that you're heading. So why does your business exist, and what is the vision of your business? What do you want to achieve in the world? And being very clear on that and communicating that. Not just communicating, but employing based on that to start with. So find people who are aligned with your purpose and your values and your vision, and then talk about that at least at minimum on a weekly basis. But the more you talk about it, the more drive, if you get the right people, they will have to continue to achieve that.
Well, that sounds very, well, pretty much the same as what you do with a non-virtual team, isn't it? That's so important no matter what.
And it's so much more important because you can't watch what they're doing on a daily basis. So it's really crucial that you do have this clarity and communicate it and talk about it. The other aspect, or the other way to keep people motivated is, and again, it's the same with a face-to-face team, is having very clear KPIs. So making sure that there is measurement for their success, and then celebrate their success when they achieve, and then help them when they're not achieving.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And Lisa, what about like team building activities? Does that work with a virtual team?
Yeah, it can. There is a activity called the River of Life activity. I've just put together it's funny. I've just put together 101 different team building activities PDF. And
wow.
The one of them that I came across was called the River of Life activity, and it's essentially where each person sees their life views their life as a river and draws that. So you might have rocks that were hurdles, and there were things on the sidelines that were helping or preventing them from achieving or succeeding, and so everyone draws their own river of life, and then they present it back to the team, and that helps the team get to know each other and learn a little bit more about each other. And with connection and with rapport, it builds understanding and respect. And so certainly if they're communicating between each other, that's a really important element of the team.
Absolutely. Well, Lisa, it sounds like a lot of the way you would engage with and motivate a virtual team is very much the same as what you do with a face-to-face team, but it's about being much more strategic and diligent with putting those systems in place.
It is about the diligence. You absolutely need to have this in place, because if you don't, they're just off in la la land doing whatever they think they should do or what they feel like doing. The other aspect that I wanted to mention was about thinking about how you pay them. How you pay a virtual team member should be different to how you pay someone if they were face to face. And I know that the typical online virtual team arrangement is that you pay on an hourly basis, which I think is completely wrong. Because one, you can't check that they're continually working through that time, but two, they're not incentivized to be efficient. They're not incentivized to be productive and get things done. So I would like to suggest that a way that you pay people moving forward is that you pay them per project or pay them per set of tasks per week. So they can take all week to do it if they like, but you have an agreed amount that you pay them for each item. And that gives you the ability to not worry about or not have the need to micromanage them, to want to know what they're doing on a daily basis. And I saw you were on Facebook out and having coffee. What was that all about? You meant to be working for me. That kind of, worry as a business owner that you're wasting money. All of that is removed when you pay them per outcome rather than per hour.
Yes. Well, how does that work if you've got lots and lots of different tasks to be done?
That's why I was saying maybe a per set of tasks. So
sure.
And this is why having a job description is crucial, because write out each person's job description, know what it is that they are expected to do. This is a part of setting very clear expectations, which is another element of these structure and systems, that every person needs to know what is expected of them to be successful. And so the first way you do that is by way of a job description, and you have all the tasks itemised on there, what they're meant to do. Then you look at those tasks and you decide, okay, how much would I be willing to pay in order to have those tasks completed on a weekly basis?
Okay, yeah, I like that. And one last question, Lisa.
Yeah.
Oftentimes we're working with people remotely. They're in different countries, so they're from different cultures. What is something that we need to consider, or is there behaviour that we need to change in order to best work with people from different cultures?
Oh, this is such a big thing because I'm based in Bali, so language is a barrier here as well. And because if we look at the way we communicate, 55% of our communication is body language, 38% is tone, and only 7% is words. So if we're looking at a virtual team, we really only have the 7% anyway, even if they're full English speaking. Yes, we have a little bit of communication through online, but the majority of our communication will be with our words only. So we've already reduced our ability to communicate to 7% of our normal communication. What's the word? Our normal communication. Yeah. So it is more challenging to have a team that are not English speaking, and I would say that you definitely want to have a team that have an element of understanding of English if you're an English speaking person, because that's the way you're going to communicate. The way we do it here in Bali is we use Google Translate. I don't know whether you've heard of that. There is an app called Google Translate, and you can type out what you want to say. And I recommend this for the job description and for the staff handbook or the expectations. Type out what you want to say and then put it into Google Translate, have it translate, and then have someone of that language who speaks both languages, English and whatever language they're communicating in, review the translation to make sure that it's an accurate translation. And that then gives them the understanding of what it is that they need to do to be successful. So there's no misunderstanding, if you like.
Sure.
That's really the best I've got for non-English speaking team members. Keeping it very simple, and also taking it slow. When you're communicating with them, don't be in a rush. Take it very slow and communicate with them, and then ask them to communicate back to you what they've understood, to be sure that they have understood.
Yeah. And what about if, let's say they do speak English and everyone speaks English quite well, but they're from different cultures, so they might have a different way of working culturally?
Yes.
Have you got some tips on how we can do better with that?
I think it's important to, and I think this is good, and I observed this with all the expat business owners here in Bali, that they have, there are different cultures within the Balinese community. And I think it's important to diversify. If you have different cultures, if you have people who do Ramadan, you have people who celebrate, different types of events throughout the year. It's important to diversify so that you haven't got all of your team out. We've just had a New Year's celebration in Bali, and all the Balinese workers are not working. But we've got the Javanese who are standing up and holding everything together because they don't celebrate this New Year. Yeah. So I think with different cultures, understanding what's important to them first, that's the most important thing. So for the Balinese, for an example, the most important thing is being able to attend their ceremonies. They don't care so much about money, but they have to be able to go and attend their ceremonies. That's like, if you don't let them do that, it's, you're taking an arm off them. And so as a normal business owner, I mean, every month there's something going on where there's a ceremony and I can't work this day. Normal business owner, you go, oh my gosh, this is so frustrating. How many days off do you want to have? But from the other perspective, they're not paid huge amounts of money. So you have to reconcile in your mind and understand for each culture that you have, what is their non-negotiable? What is the most important thing for them? And then enable that, set up the business so that it enables that. So for the expat business owners here, having the Javanese and the Balinese helps with that because, they can, when the Javanese have a celebration, recently there was an 11-day celebration for the Javanese. They all went back to Java. So the Balinese stepped up. And now we've got this 3-day situation, the New Year's situation with the Balinese and the Javanese step in. So you just have to diversify to ensure that the business runs efficiently at all times with the team that you've got. Amazing.
Sounds good. Awesome. Well, it sounds like you've got some really exciting things happening over there in Bali, Lisa.
Yes, it is. Lots of fun and very excited to share some of this information with you and your team.
Yeah. Well, look, Lisa, thank you so much for being so generous and sharing your tips and advice on this video. And hey, is that PDF available? Can we grab that from your website?
The 101 team bonding ideas. Yeah, absolutely. It's not up yet, but it will be up in the next few days. And also, I'm going to put the answers to the questions in a blog that might be answered much more succinctly, and you can take it away and digest it and then start implementing.
Well, in the video, we get to hear your wonderful tone and see your body language. So that's adding to the engagement, isn't it?
Exactly.
Thanks so much again, Lisa.
My pleasure, Christine. Thank you.